again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with a continuation of the Kaleidoscope Granny Shawl. Yes, and it's our crochet along, and we're on part 5, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so today we are going to create triangles that fill up this space, which is then going to turn our triangle into a rectangle like we did once before down here. Now, after a lot of deliberation on my part, I decided to make a game plan change. Now, originally, I had this mega cherry red yarn that I was honestly thinking about using, but considering how this looks at the moment, I don't know. I just think that this would pop way too much and be sort of like an eye magnet, but not in the way that I want. So, that being said, I'm thinking that for these triangles that we're going to create for today, I'm thinking do the Oxford Gray and the Antique White, sort of like how we did these triangles. So start with the Oxford Gray and then go into the Antique White, just like we did with the Claret and the Antique White with these triangles. That is what I'm thinking. So it will give some visual difference, but also it will have some sort of unification and conformity within my craziness, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So, that being said, today we are going to start with our Oxford Gray, yes, and we're going to begin our triangle in the exact center of our side, because we need to start in the center and then have it grow out, 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 out. And the easiest part about this is figuring out where you actually begin, because it's all lined up already. So we're just going to start in this space here. Now, if you don't trust me, you can always count your spaces. Be sure to count your chain 3 space here and your chain 1 space here, and you can just sort of scooch your way to the center, and you will come to this point right here. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so to begin with, I'm going to insert my hook right into this center space right here, and pull up our yarn, and chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and turn our work. And then again into the third stitch, which is going to be our third double crochet, slip stitch right into that third double, chain 1, and turn our work once again. There is a lot of turning in this project, I'll be the first to tell you. A lot of turning and a lot of ends to sew in, but it's worth it. It's what I always keep telling myself. So now into this center space, 2 more doubles for our first cluster. Chain 3. And 3 doubles for our second cluster. There we go. And if you'll excuse the noise in the background, that is my central air. Without it, I would be in some trouble here. All right, so we've got our 2 clusters. So skip onto the third stitch, which is our third double in this case, and slip stitch into there. Chain 3. Find the third stitch again. So in this case, it's going to be the second double because the chain counts as a stitch. So go into the second double with a slip. There we go. Chain 1. Turn your work, and then into this space right here, 2 more doubles, chain 1, and then into the center spine, 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles, three doubles, chain 3, had a little bit of a knot, sorry, 3 more doubles, okay, chain 1, and then into this space right here, 3 more doubles, there we go. Yep. Okay, I got it. All right. Then find the 3rd stitch again. So again, skipping that chain space, and then the next one. So it's the 2nd double crochet of the following cluster. We slip stitch, chain 3, find the 3rd stitch again. So that would be the 1st stitch of the next cluster, because we've got a double, a chain, and then a double. So slip stitch into that 1st double. I'm not getting all my plies. There we go. Chain 1, turn the work. And then into this space, 2 more doubles to finish that 1st cluster. Chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space. Chain 1, and we've reached our center spine, so that's 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. Now, our triangle down here, it was only 3 rows, so I'm debating how many I want to do this triangle, because, I mean, obviously we have to get to the entire edge here. So after this row, I think I'm going to deliberate for just a moment. So get my 3 doubles, got 2 more, chain 3, and then 3 more doubles. I mean, there's really so much that you can do with playing with various colors and so forth. The only thing that I would strongly recommend is that whenever you're doing this project, go crazy with colors, sure, but keep the yarn the same. The material of yarn, the thickness of the yarn, keep that the same. Otherwise, you're going to run into trouble as far as it fitting well, as far as the different pieces. All right, so chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space, chain 1, and then into this little space down here, 3 more doubles, and now I'm going to deliberate how many more rows I wish to do of the gray, if I wish to do so. So give me a moment and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so after a little bit of deliberation and figuring, apparently the triangle itself, not including the framework, we need a total of 9 rows for the triangle, and then 2 rows for the charcoal gray framework. So what I was thinking is, since we need 9 rows, and if we want to keep uniform by having these last 3 rows being the antique white, so 9 minus 3 would be 6. So 6 rows for the Oxford gray, then 3 rows for the antique white, and then 2 rows for the charcoal gray. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, and I'm sticking to it. So that being said, I'm gonna find the 3rd stitch to slip into. So let's see, we went into the middle one, so then it would be the 1st double of the next cluster we slip into, and then chain 3, and then the 3rd one will be the chain stitch, slip into there, chain 1, and turn. Now, of course, you can do whatever it is that you like to do. Just realize you may end up with some different results. So into this space right here, 2 more doubles. And then chain 1, and then 3 doubles into the next space, and so forth until we reach the spine. Now, I can't stress it enough, and I know I must sound like a broken record. I know, but I can't stress it enough that I am not the end-all, be-all, and that I strongly want you guys to march to the beat of your own bongos. I haven't said that in so long. But yeah, I want you to march to the beat of your own bongos. I want you to think outside of the box, to try new things, because that's how we grow as creative people. All right, so we've reached the center spine, so 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. I mean, myself, if I didn't try to think outside of the box, this project would not have come to be. Just gotta be persistent. Sometimes you have to take a breather, you have to walk away, you have to put it down. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you do not let fear of failure get in your way. That is a no-no. No fear here. All right, so then chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space, chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space, chain 1, and then into the space down here, 3 more doubles, one, 2, and 3. Okay, then scoop my tail out of the way. All right, so I got to find the 3rd stitch again, which is going to be the chain space, because this was the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Okay, and then so into that chain space, we need our slip stitch, chain 3. Okay, the 3rd stitch in this case will be the 3rd double. So slip into there, chain 1, and turn. All right, so how many do we have? We have a total of 4. We're on the 5th row. So into this space down here, 2 more doubles. Chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space, and so forth till we reach the spine. And then we just need 1 more row of the Oxford gray, at least in my case. Alrighty, so we reach the center spine, 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles into the next space until we reach the end of this side, which will happen pretty soon. Whoop. It happens. Okay, chain 1, 3 into the next. Chain 1, 3 into the next. Chain 1, and 3 into this space down here. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I just need one more row. So find the third stitch. So that's going to be the third double crochet. Slip stitch into there. Chain 3. Find the third stitch again. So that is going to be the middle double crochet right there. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just making sure. So the middle double crochet, you slip stitch into there, chain 1, and turn your work. Pull out some more yarn. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, so for the last row of the Oxford gray, I just need to go into this space here with 2 more doubles. Finish up that cluster. Chain 1, 3 more doubles. Chain 1 and then 3 more doubles. It's really, I would say aside from the joining points, it's really a great project that you can get yourself lost in. Go on meditative autopilot. But you do have to be mindful of your connections when you're slip stitching. That you don't want to mess up. I will say that. All right, and then center spine, 3 doubles. There we go. And then 1 more double. Chain 3, 3 more doubles. Okay, adjust our work just a smidge. Okay. Chain 1, 3 doubles. Chain 1, 3 doubles. And so forth until we reach the end. And then we can start in on the antique white. And I hope this looks as good as I would like to think it will. It would probably have helped if I had perhaps used some colored pencils and so forth to map this out beforehand, but planning is not necessarily my strong suit, All right, so into this space right here, we do our last 3 doubles. Okay. So now going to swap over to my antique white. So I'm going to cut my end here and get my antique white ready because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just what we wanted. And I will be right back with my new yarn. All right, so to connect our antique white, I wanted to say, off-white, but it's the antique white yarn, going to go into the 3rd stitch once again. So that's going to be the middle double crochet of the next cluster, but we don't drag the Oxford gray through. No, going to pick up our antique white and pull that through with a slip stitch. And of course we can tighten up our 2 ends there. And then chain 3. Find the next 3rd stitch to go into. So that will be the first double of the next cluster because we got double, chain, double. So slip stitch into that first double. There we go. Chain 1 and turn. And I've got a bunch of tails going on here. Such is life, right? Okay, so now into this space right here, 2 more doubles. Tighten these up a little. Chain 1 and work our way until we reach the center spine of our triangle. Just going along with our 3 doubles, chain 1, etc., etc. As far as yarn choices with colorways and things, I think that if you used a variegated yarn, on the one hand, it could look really astounding. On the other hand, it might look a little too jumbled and messy. Personal preference, totally. Ombres, those could work out really well. The only problem with a yarn that changes color and you don't have any control over the color change, the only problem that you can run into is if you're going for symmetry, you're going to have to do some planning as far as where the colors start and so forth. And even then, you might run into some trouble because if your tension is slightly off from one triangle to another triangle, that can affect where your color starts and stops. Just putting it out there. So we reach the center spine. So 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. So if you want, I would say the cleanest looking results, I would suggest go with solids as far as your colors are concerned. That's just personal recommendation. If you want a nice, clean, concise look. Otherwise, yes, you could go for something a bit more fanciful and organic, and you might come up with some very interesting and innovative results. Have fun with it. That's the whole point, right? Okay, so row 1 of the antique white is almost done. I need to do 2 more, and then we can do our framework with the charcoal. Okie dokie. And then last but not least, into this space down here, we need our last 3 doubles for this row. Okay, and then we need to find the 3rd stitch. So in this case, let's see, we went into the middle stitch, so it would be, all right, we've got the end stitch, the chain stitch, and the 1st stitch of the next cluster. That's where we're going to go into. With a slip stitch, chain 3, okay, and then we're going to go into the chain stitch space right here with a slip stitch. All right, chain 1, turn the work, and then into this space down here, 2 more doubles, chain 1, and work our way as normal until we reach the center spine. Okay. Just going to work our way up and then back down again. Okay, center spine, 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. Okay, and then work our way down the other side just as normal. And shift our work as needs be. Okie dokie. Chain 1, 3 doubles. It's like a mantra. Okay, and then last but not least, this little space down here, 3 doubles. Okay, and then finding the 3rd space, that's going to be the chain space down in here. I just want to check something real quick. Yep, because we have the chain space over here, chain space over here. Sorry, I just need to do 1 more row of the antique white, and then we can continue on with our framework. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going to do the last row of the antique white, so chain 3, find the third stitch. So that's going to be the third double of the cluster here. Slip stitch, like so, chain 1, turn the work. Adjust your piece around your camera on your tripod if needs be. And into this space right here, 2 more doubles. There we are. Chain 1, and continue on in your merry old way of 3 doubles, chain 1, until, of course, you reach the center spine. Okie dokie. Now, I think that for the sake of brevity, that the second triangle that we're going to need to do, I'm not going to do it on camera. I know this is a crochet along, but I think that the second triangle, it mirrors this one exactly. Unlike the 2 triangles like this one down here, does not mirror exactly. This one, however, does mirror exactly from one side to the next. So I think that we're going to bypass doing the second triangle like this on camera. But really, it's the exact same thing, very much so. So we reach the center spine, so 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. I mean, I do like to be thorough, don't get me wrong, but I would have to make an entire video just for doing the exact same triangle, and I don't want to waste your time by doing the exact same thing. Because I have faith in you. I know you can do this. I know you can. Because the starting point is exactly the same. So chain 1, 3 doubles, and work our way down until we reach the final slip stitch, which we are not going to slip with the antique white, but we are going to slip with the charcoal gray. Just going to work our way down. The only difference between this triangle and the opposing side triangle, the only difference is where you end up, and I'll explain that. But in the end, it really does not make a whole lot of difference, because you're just ending with a slip stitch anyway. But I shall explain. Chain 1, and then into this little space down here, do our final 3 doubles with the antique white. Alrighty, so now we get to start in with the charcoal gray. Now, the way that this triangle works, okay, so we're starting with the charcoal gray, and we're going to be going, you know, this way and over, and then back again for the second row, and then so we're going to be finishing with a slip stitch into here. Now, when you do this triangle, again, you'd be starting in the center point, and you would do it in exactly the same fashion, starting in this point, and just being sure to slip stitch into your third stitch, and then continue back, forth, exactly the same way that we did with this one. The only difference is that you would end up slip stitching your final slip stitch into this space as opposed to this space. It's the only difference. The only difference, okay? So, that being said, I'm going to snippy snip my antique white, and we will get into doing the charcoal gray. Alright, so we are ready for the charcoal gray. Again, going to find the third stitch. That's going to be, in this case, the third double of this cluster here. So again, insert your hook, but do not use the antique white. Nope. Grab your new color and pull that on through for your slip stitch there. Pull your ends, chain 3, then find the third stitch. So that will be the middle double crochet of the following cluster there. Chain 1 and turn your work. Oh my. Get your ends out of the way. And get your camera in focus, thank you. All right, then into this space down here, 2 more doubles to finish off your cluster. Pull your ends. There you go. Chain 1 and continue on your merry way until you reach the center spine. With 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles, chain 1, 3 doubles, chain 1. Like a little song sung by a sparrow on a little tree branch. Yes, I know, I'm a little batty, but that's okay. I never, ever, ever said that I was sane. I never claimed that. Nope. I will say that there's a method to my madness, but oh, it's madness. It's certified. And I'm certifiable. I'm just crazy about yarn and anything to do with it. I'll be the first to admit it. Ask anybody that knows me, like, yep, he loves his yarn. Too much, perhaps, but I don't know if that's possible. Is it possible to love something too much? I don't know. Okay. And we're almost to the center spine. And now we do 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. Oh, this, I just, this is so exciting to me. This whole thing is so exciting to me because I wanted to do something like this for a long time, and now I get the chance to do it, and it's just so gratifying. It really is. I know I'm kind of gushing at the moment, but that's what I do. That's kind of what you signed on for, me gushing. All right, chain 1, 3 more doubles all the way down this side until we reach the end point where we do our slip stitching. quite frankly, this version of the shawl that I'm doing right now, I am so much more satisfied with this than my first prototype. I mean, I finished it and everything like that, but I was not nearly as happy with the choice of colors as I am with this. I mean, it's okay, don't get me wrong. I was using elephant gray and pumpkin spice and taupe, and it's nice. It's just not what I was going for, because also my triangles were all one color. They didn't have the two-tone that we have going on with this version. And so I'm really enjoying this one a lot more. Granted, there are a lot more ends to sew in, but I still find it that much more gratifying. Okay, we're almost there. Almost there. And then we can turn and do the last row together. Oop. All right, so gotta do my chain 1, and then into this space right down here, do our last 3 doubles of the row. There. Okay, now find that 3rd stitch. So that would be the 2nd double of this last cluster here, because we went into the 3rd stitch of this cluster. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So that's the middle double crochet, slip stitch into there, then chain 3, and slip stitch into the chain 3 space, chain 1, turn your work, get your tails out of the way, and then into this space right here, do 2 more doubles to finish off your cluster. Chain 1, and work your way up to the center spine. And I just need to arrange my piece here. Give me 1 sec, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so just going to continue working along, singing a song, moving right along, footloose and fancy free. Been a while since I used that little reference. Gotta love the Muppets. Gotta love the Muppets. Who's your favorite Muppet? I don't know. I mean, I think Fozzie is cute, but I'm not a big fan of the Waka Wakas. I don't know. Somebody I know very close to me likes the Waka Wakas, but I think I'm more of a Gonzo kind of fan. I mean, I love Kermit, but I think I relate to Gonzo because he's sort of the underdog, you know. Some people, they just don't appreciate his sort of esoteric creativity. So I think I can relate to Gonzo. I know, it's peculiar, but again, that's what you signed on for. But who is your favorite Muppet? Either that or perhaps, I think his name is Pepe. And there's a great line from Muppets from Space, and somebody calls him a shrimp, and he's like, I am not a shrimp, I am a king prawn, and he like holds up all of his little arms at the same time. It cracks me up. You know, the Swedish Chef, he too is really cool. You know, he's very, very cool. You know, the Schwergy Burgy Durgy with the Swedish Chef. All right, we've reached the center spine. So It's 3 doubles, chain 3, 3 doubles. Now, a fun little fact about the Swedish chef, if you didn't know, is, well, you had 2 people Muppeteering the Swedish chef. You had, I believe it was Jim Henson and Frank Oz, who were both controlling the Swedish chef. One controlled the hands, and one controlled the head. And apparently, it was sort of like this inside gag of theirs that they were always trying to sort of mess up and flummox the other person by being completely uncoordinated with each other. And I think that that actually really lends itself to the character. So I can appreciate that. A little bit of creative genius at work. Oh, I miss Jim Henson. Love his work, love his movies. He was so innovative. Not just for entertainment, but also in the spirit of education, because you guys know I'm all about the 3 E's. It's my mission statement: enlighten, educate, and entertain. And I really do try my darndest to adhere to all 3 to the best of my ability. You know, sometimes I think my jokes kind of fall flat, but I'm very, very much interested in those 3 E's. That's why I do the audiobook readings as well as the tutorials, and all the time I do try to be somewhat entertaining if possible. Not always possible, but I try. All right, so we're almost at the end of the row. Almost. All right, so last but not least, we need to go into this little space right here with our last 3 doubles. There we go. And then for the end of this row, going to slip stitch into this chain 1 space at the end, lickety splickety, and so we can again cut our yarn, and our triangle is done. And honestly, I really like the look of this as far as giving it a cohesive uniformity, as opposed to adding in the cherry red. I really like this very, very much. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to do the final triangle that I need to do off camera because this video has run way longer than I thought it would. So that being said, I'm going to finish this triangle off camera, and I will be back. Alrighty. Alright, my dears, so through the magic of television, I completed the other triangle off camera, and it looks exactly the same as it should. And yes, as I said, it ends by slip stitching into the top little space here, as opposed to this triangle, which ended by doing a slip stitch into the chain 1 space here. But I am oh so pleased. Oh yes, I am. I really think that the changing of my decision to leave out the cherry red, I think that that definitely was a good call on my part. All right, so that concludes part 5 of the Kaleidoscope Granny Shawl Crochet Along. I really hope you're enjoying it, and if you are, please give a little thumbs up button down below, because you know I appreciate your appreciation, as always. Yes, I do. And hit subscribe, because there is more to come for this crochet along. And until next time, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, stay safe, take care of yourself and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.